one of those songs that will probably forever make me feel young, because of like what they're talking about. And you don't even need to know specifically. You don't need to know if it's about a relationship. You don't need to know if it's about a change in your life, a new step forward, a new path, a new career, a new city you're moving to. None of that shit matters. You just know that it's about something like that. And you've experienced at least a few of the instances that I've just named, and most people do. And when you are experiencing those, songs like this are kind of like what helped, at least for me, get me through it.
It's showtime, folks.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Into the Music. My name is John, and that chap over there is Andy. Andy, how the devil are you this evening?
I'm doing well. No complaints on my end. Just another looking like a dreary night here in Baltimore. How are you, sir?
I'm comfortable.
It's better than your other option, I suppose.
Yeah, I'm doing good. So, I guess you're wondering why I've drawn you all here this evening. And no, it's not to reveal the murderer.
Guess that'll have to wait.
I'm here to listen to some new and exciting music. So, Andy, what have you got for me?
Sir, I've got for you a band that I'm concerned you may have heard of before, but I'm not 100% sure. So I'm just going to throw them at you right now. Have you ever heard of the Silversun Pickups?
Oh, Andy. I'm laughing because this is a common theme. Where you say a band and I say I don't think I heard of them, and then I check and I've got 2 or 3 albums by them. So what I did after the last time this happened is I made a list of all of the albums that I've got digitally, which I've not listened to. And guess what's on that list? So I've got 2 albums by the Silversun Pickups, and I know that I enjoyed them at one point, but I can't for the life of me remember anything about them. So you have to tell me what the song is, and I'll tell you if I know it or not. Which, even if I've got it, I may not know it. So
okay, well, I'll tell you the song and the album so we can verify that you have both. So the album is Carnivas, and this is their debut album, and the song is called Lazy Eye.
No, I've got Neck of the Woods and Swoon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I couldn't tell you anything about either album. Oh, this is bad, isn't it? But there you go. It's like I shoplifted them or something, you know. They're just sitting there in a pile, you know.
Yeah, right. Just collecting dust, having never listened to. Well,
I haven't listened to them, but God knows when. And, you know, I must have liked one because I then got another one.
Right,
you know,
right. That's interesting that you don't have the debut though. That's what I'm kind of like. That I thought for sure. Oh God, she's gonna have Carnival.
Yeah, know me.
Yeah,
exactly. You know,
that's great. Okay, well, I mean, maybe
it's pretty interesting.
Yeah, if you listen to it and you like it, maybe you'll revisit that stuff or check out Carnivas. But yeah, anyway, give it a listen. Let me know what you think.
Will do. Release the dogs. This is spanking good. The start, so Smashing Pumpkins. It's not to take anything away from them, but it really is. But they kind of build on it. I love his voice. Heard it before, and I do really like it. But there's extra little touches in there. There's that really high synth. There was after the first sort of verse, there was a guitar break, little sort of riff, but it was really unexpected. It didn't match the melody or the chord structure of the song. It went off a completely different tangent, but it was really good. And then after the second verse, there was another sort of guitar riff, and that did sort of match expectations, and that was equally as good. Yeah, this is a neat Okay, back a wee bit. Wow. I think there's a lot to talk about here.
So you are back, sir.
Mm.
And did any of this ring up? Maybe not the song, but the sound. Like, did it bring anything back from your experience off Swoon, or what was the other album that you had by them?
Neck of the Woods.
Yes, Neck of the Woods. So
We have to talk about this. Yeah, of course, it brought back lots of memories of that sort of era. Okay, I'll say right off the bat, this was one hell of a song. This is, I don't know if I like it more than Perfect Circle or not, but it's probably equal in terms of the songs you give me. You know, it's right at the peak, the apex. It was fan-bloody-tastic.
Yeah.
So it starts off, and we've got this Smashing Pumpkins tribute going on. I mean, really, and I'm not trying to take anything away from them, but it really is Smashing Pumpkins. I mean, I've heard his voice before and I recognize it straight away, but I guess from before I didn't get the Pumpkins, but even that, the voice was a bit up there as well. But it sounds fantastic. You know, I'm a fan of especially later Pumpkin stuff, where they really refined their sound, and it sounds amazing. You know, it's great. And then it does, to be fair to them, take on a life of its own, and it just bloody goes. I mean, I've got so many notes and they're all over the place, so bear with me. So I've got to decipher them first, and then put them in some sort of order. But yeah, so what have we got here? Pumpkin start. Yeah, it was an interesting, again, cut and paste this comment. Some lyrics, not many. All right. And to be honest with you, after the first sort of initial opening sort of offering, I probably stopped listening to the words at this point because I was enjoying the music so goddamn much. But he starts off, I've been waiting for this moment all my life, which is quite a well-trodden sort of line that a lot of bands and singer-songwriters have used. But then there's the line after it, but it's not quite right, which I thought was just lovely, and it gives that tone of late teen, early 20s sort of slight angst, or so whatever's going to progress, it's not quite right,
And
it's just
if I could just interject one moment, because you're talking about a part that really sticks out to me, the way he delivers it, but it's not quite right. It just falls off, like it's so, but it's not quite, and it's so melancholic in its in its singular delivery, that it just hits you, man. It hits you right in the chest.
No, it's why I noticed it straight away. So I've been waiting for this moment of my life is as a very sort of statement that you would say as a younger adult, and it is full of hope and anticipation. But you're right, the following on, but it's not quite right. It's almost like a sigh. It's you can always hear the air leaving him, which of course is the method by which we speak, communicate. So I know that's a stupid comment, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But then it sort of goes into it, and there's some really interesting guitars. Picks up. At the end of the first, I'll call it verse, there's a guitar riff. It's not really a solo. It's just a little sort of, small bit. But it's really unexpected. Well, not unexpected, but it's really different. It doesn't follow any of the melodic pattern of the song. The way that guitar goes off into different notes is just a real offshoot. And then again, it carries on, and then they do it again. But the second sort of guitar lick, as it were, is progressive within the song and fits it perfectly. And I can't tell you which one I like more, because they're both really clever and both really good, but they're just great. And then at that point, there's these really nice high keys going on. And then it drops into, I'll get this in the right order, but then it goes into this really low sort of synth as well that goes through, and you're picking up on other guitars, and there's a There's a proper sonic landscape going on, and it's almost like you could take all the words out, and the music tells the story as well. And then it crashes, with this. I don't know if it's rage or passion or whatever, but then and his voice for that part holds really well as well. I mean, it's just exceptional, and I love all that shit. That sort of sound as well. So it was great. And then it sort of comes back on itself, and when it does, there's these lovely sort of almost plugged. I don't know if it's guitars. It's sort of like tingling. And I think he says, actually, he says the line twice, and I misheard it the first time, and then I heard it properly the second time. So he says, it's the room, it's the sun and the sky. But when he first said the line, I thought he said it's the moon, the sun and the sky. And my mind immediately started going to sort of sitting on the grass outdoors looking up at the evening sky. And then I caught the second line, and it's like, no, it's too late. That image is already in my head, And it sort of gave this richness to it as well, by accident. And then it just goes, again, a sonic expanse, which just was beautiful. And I have to say, at that point, where it's all the stretched out guitars, and it going from, you call it dream pop or shoegaze into space rock almost.
Yeah.
It really, really hit me, and I had a very strong emotional response to it. It took me out of myself for that period of time. And I was away, sitting on Primrose Hill in London, looking down, having been the worst of the wear for a few G&Ts. And it's just this sort of memory of like 24 years old or whatever, just took me there in a split second. And it really wrapped me up. And then when it came out of that, it was almost like, for me, it was a crash back down to reality. And then it bookended the song at the end with the beginning as well. Haven't got a clue what the song's about, but I would say it's one of the best things I've heard in a long time. I just loved it.
Oh, that's awesome. That's high praise. It's funny that you.
Sorry, just one more thing before there was this musical motif going throughout, and I can't replicate it. The sort of do 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 do, and that kind of tied all the parts together, and it kept coming and going.
Is it this? Because I can't shake this, but is it the or something to that effect? And like it's on the guitar, seemingly, but it might also be replicated on the keys a little bit too. They have that little melodic earworm that is the constant between every progression is like it's just so good.
Lovely.
It's so good. It's
lovely. Sorry.
No, I think we're on the same page on a lot of this. It's funny that you like the anecdote that this song took you to, or like the moment that it took you to, because I was 23 when this song came out, and this song was like one of those songs, when this album was kind of one of those albums. It was the soundtrack to my everyday, and remained as such until this moment. Like I listened to this album at least once a week, once every 2 weeks, maybe. And the song is it's evergreen in my head. I just love it. It's one of those ones that just comes at a perfect time in your life when you hear it. And it's just like all the fear in a moment and all the unbridled enthusiasm about what might come, and the crippling fear in the wake of that, and the just sheer jubilation, this weird cocktail of angst and excitement is what this evokes in me when I first heard it, and continues to do. And it's one of those songs that will probably forever make me feel young, because of like what they're talking about. And you don't even need to know specifically. You don't need to know if it's about a relationship. You don't need to know if it's about a change in your life, a new step forward, a new path, a new career, a new city you're moving to. None of that shit matters. You just know that it's about something like that. And you've experienced at least a few of the instances that I've just named, and most people do. And when you are experiencing those, songs like this are kind of like what help, at least for me, get me through it. So yeah, it's so great that you liked it as much as you did, because that was pretty much how I reacted to it at 23, when it was completely apropos to like where I was in life. So the Silversun Pickups, they themselves are another band from California. I believe they're from Los Angeles, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, the Silversun Pickups is an American alternative rock band from Los Angeles that formed in 2000. The band is composed of Brian Albert, Nikki Moniger, Christopher Guanlao, and Joe Lester. And this album came out in 2006, Carnivos, and it was their debut album. I think this, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, the band finished a 3-week tour opening for Wolf Mother in 2006, and later toured with OK Go and Snow Patrol on this album. And then they go on to say they also toured the UK and Ireland while Carnivos was released there in 2007. The band opened for the Foo Fighters in Edinburgh and Dublin. And it's funny that you mentioned the Smashing Pumpkins, because it's really unavoidable. Like the first time that guy opens even the music sounds like the Pumpkins music at some point in their constant evolution of the sound that you kind of alluded to when you were talking about the Pumpkins. The guy's voice, like when you hear Billy Corgan, you go, okay, there can never be another voice like this. Not that it's the greatest thing ever or like smooth as butter. It's actually its own kind of thing. But you hear this guy and you're like, this is as close to a voice I never thought I would hear anything like. And the guy comes off sounding a lot like Billy Corgan. But they say that they're frequently compared to the Smashing Pumpkins and My Bloody Valentine are sort of the two bands that everyone points to when they're trying to draw a comparison to Silversun Pickups. So
I guess for the sort of expansive part of the song, you could perhaps a bit of My Bloody Valentine, perhaps, but yeah, Pumpkins all the way. But it's of their own sound as well,
Absolutely.
It's not derivative, it is, they've taken influences and then run with them, which is great.
Yeah. I think a lot of the slack is too, they're a 4-person band. They have a female bass player who just sings harmonies. And it's just, it's easy, I think, at that point, right? To just go, oh, you're Pumpkins 2.0, but they're not. And again, the guy can't help how his voice sounds. His voice sounds the way it sounds. So yeah, this is awesome that it resonated with you like it did. And I'm glad you liked it. And if you don't have anything else, I'm going to take it away. But before I do, I'm going to suggest that you check out this album and then maybe you revisit some of the other stuff.
Oh, 100%. It's on my list to get, within the next couple of days.
Cool.
No doubt.
Awesome. Yeah, I think this is one of the few that I actually have on vinyl. So this is, comparatively speaking to the wall of vinyl that you reside in front of. But yeah, everybody out there, let us know what you think of Lazy Eye and the Silversun Pickups, maybe their albums and stuff. If you have anything you want to drop in, please do. We love interacting with you guys. We love seeing you down there. It kind of brightens our days. And I think I speak for all of us when I say that. And please like, share, subscribe. Feel free to ring the bell so you can become notified whenever a video drops. And with all that said, we can't wait to see you guys next time on Into the Music.
See ya.